I think now I need to tell you now just one secret.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so scared to fail.
I am becoming less and less patient, but I used to be quite attentive and caring.
You're speaking as if you've done something wrong. Are you impatient with everybody or certain people in particular?
For example, with my partner.
It's me, Concor.
And it's me, Tyler.
And we are. No, we are sharing notes. We are sharing notes.
We're very welcome to my show because I met you guys this time last year, right?
Yeah. Somewhere around this time,
Exactly
yeah.
1 year ago. And
Exactly,
we had such a great time.
Oh,
And I've been wanting to invite you guys back, but we always have to find a reason. And today we have the reason.
Yes.
Because you guys are doing something completely insane. Let's talk about what that is.
Okay.
Because I read it, I was like, what are you guys thinking? Is this a dude's thing? Talk about your mini series that's coming up.
Okay. Well, first, the idea is clear. We both are actors. So we want to explore more because now we develop one company that is Duovision. It's a produce company. Mm-hmm. So the first step is we want to try something new, something amazing, something challenge between Tyler and me because we start this and we are going to challenge each other.
Okay.
So one day in the office, we was talking about hey, bro, I love the F1. I'm really big fan of the F1 with my wife. And then I told Tyler, what do you think one day we can go to the karting and see who is the more faster? And then I told Tyler, maybe it's not a good idea, bro. I love you so much, but I don't see this is fair. Right, Tyler?
Because you love F1, how do you think about it?
Yeah, I think, do you like the F1?
Not at all, honestly.
So I see it's not fair. But Tyler say one comment, one challenge. He put one punish that make me feel what is going on? Tyler, please. What was the punish?
So whoever loses is going to shave their head bald.
Bald, completely bald. And now your psychology. let me ask you this thing. If you have one partner and he beat something really, really big, just have two options. Or that guy is not taking this serious at all, or this guy have one secret. Because if he beats something really big, it's because he knows he's going to win, right? Probably have a possibility 50-50.
I would say it's a deterrent too. Okay, I'm betting this big and you might be too scared and say, well, I don't want to lose my hair. I'm an actor.
That's the point. We are an actor. So the hair is really important. And my wife just get married with me because I look good with the hair. And she always tell me, please, don't be bold. Don't be bold. But like a challenge, like a man, we accept each other the challenge. And the result is going to be in the video, in this mini-series.
Well, I mean, I'm like a mom watching two boys fight and go, what in the world? Okay, but I'm kind of excited about this. Is this a fair fight though? Like you mentioned, you love driving, but we didn't get an overwhelming yes from Tyler. It was more like...
Actually, before that, before the race, I've never tried karting.
No way, you
So then what is wrong with you? Why did you agree to this?
I know. Something was wrong.
What is this need to push yourself to that extreme?
I guess I was just like, you know what, fuck it. Yeah, you want to do it? Let's go. Go big or go home.
Okay. Are you practicing?
Actually, the deal was you practice.
I didn't because I have confidence.
In your learning skill.
In my learning skills.
I can see that. I wasn't very good at it, but then I practiced really hard and I beat your ass. That says a lot about me, right? So if you win, that's a huge win.
And we have the privilege to work with the Suzuka Circuit Park. So they give us free the space and they give us the whole safe resource to make
Okay.
this challenge real.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it weird that I'm excited to watch one of them cry? When one of them has to shave his head. So I'm excited for it. So everybody get prepared. That's going to be something fun to watch in
Yeah.
the summer.
Oh, this summer.
I am excited. So
Tyler
it's like
versus
a
Concor.
blockbuster
Yeah.
thing.
We want to try to make these more projects, like a more close to the cinema, acting, working with cameras, because we are actors and
Right.
we want to boost this talent that we have.
Yeah, and also trying new things for work. It's always fun if
Yeah.
you can combine that, having adventures in life and work together. I would like to suggest, if you ever make it again,
Yeah.
the next time the both of you try pole dancing.
Oh.
Because
It's on.
Okay.
I have seen like really strong bodybuilders
Uh-huh.
go and try pole dancing. I think there's some Korean show, maybe, and it was hilarious
Okay.
because it's totally different muscles and the pain is different.
Right. Yes, exactly.
You want to try?
And I know Rain for a fact did try pole dancing,
Oh.
and he's such a great dancer,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
he's like he wasn't having any of it, and so that was fun. So that's what I would love to watch you guys do.
I
Pole
love that
dancing.
suggestion.
Okay,
Yeah, sure. Actually, the only reason I said yes to this ridiculous idea of shaving and everything and racing is because I told him that, well, then who gets to pick the second idea?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like we're going to try some more really
Yeah.
more concept. More,
Outrageous,
yeah,
yeah.
just be adventurous.
Yeah. I think, but so we have the challenge. What do you think can be the punish?
Oh man, that's gonna be hard because you've already shaved your head, so you can't possibly do that again.
We're going to shave other hair
No!
in others.
I don't know. Well, for everybody who's watching this video, please comment now in the section
Yes.
of the comment which one can be the penalty.
If you have sadistic tendencies and would like to think of really severe punishments for the two of them, please leave a comment.
Leave a comment.
Here. Okay.
And the comment with more likes, that is the penalty.
Like, I almost wanted you guys to do something that puts you in the crowd, like 100 free hugs or on the streets or
That'd
something.
be awesome.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's for people to get to know you,
Yeah.
right? But also, it's a challenge in and of itself,
That's
right?
amazing. That's not even a penalty.
Yeah.
That's something that's really, I want to do that.
All right, so scratch that. Scratch that. It has to be painful. Let me think of something else. But I thought that might be something.
Okay.
That would be fun.
Everybody, this summer, Liu Yue, RCG, how you're going to start to watching the mini series of BrosBond, Tyler versus Concor. Now that's trailer.
Yes. Excellent. And you guys have had such rapid growth since the last time I saw you. So congratulations.
Thank you so much.
So you have this huge project coming up end of June, but also you guys are doing live podcasts.
Yeah, September.
Right. We have it on, actually, we're going to have some regular shows.
Yeah.
So it's going to happen by the end of every month, starting from September all the way to December.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our first show, live podcast show, was in Tainan. And we noticed that Taiwanese in the South, we also want to pluricultural shows. So we say, why not? Let's do it. Let's call to the whole people who love BrosBond, who want to participate in one show that is only in English. It's only in English. So now we are going to have a regular show for those people that want to share the story, want to feel amazing, funny, want to learn a little more from another country, from another culture. Yeah, we invite you everybody to go our live podcast show.
Maybe I'll visit too. We'll see what are the dates.
Yeah.
Well, by then your hair would have grown back.
Hopefully.
But
yeah.
that would be interesting because live podcasts, there's something to it, right?
Yes,
There's
yes.
that immediate interaction and the adrenaline because you
Yes.
can't say crap.
Yeah, you can say pause.
You can't hit pause. So that's something fun. So
Yeah,
I'd
yeah.
love to see you doing that challenge.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I want to credit myself. No, I'm just kidding. That you guys are doing so awesome because it looks like you guys are having a great relationship communicating now.
Oh yeah.
And I feel like
after that episode, we grow.
no, it's not credit to me, it's credit to them. But when I visited you, that episode ended up being more like a couples counseling session. We didn't set out to be that way at all.
Yeah.
Right.
Somehow it just kind of took a turn.
Yes.
And it kind of got emotional and deep.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was, I was very touched by both of your honesty and how much you wanted this relationship to work. So it's been a year. How has things changed since that episode?
Actually, the other day on our BrosBond podcast, I was crying out for help.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
I was screaming, yelling, "I need Sherry!"
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yes.
You didn't tag me. Let me know. I'll be like,
It's coming out. It's coming out.
It's coming out,
We haven't
I'll be
aired
like,
that episode
hello.
yet. Yeah.
I heard you.
So this is the perfect time for us to be reunited.
Yeah. Let's talk. What's up?
Okay, so we the other day the topic was to rant
Yeah.
about just everything about your other half, or about family, about partners,
Yeah.
or about just yourselves.
Right.
And when we were into the section of complaining about ourselves, I noticed one thing, that it's something that recently, like I started to notice, that is I am becoming less and less patient. When people talk to me and they don't have a point, or they seem to beat around the bush, I'm like, so what is your point? I don't have all the time. Like, I would love to hear everything. I just don't have that energy and don't have that time to hear you go from A all the way to Z.
Right.
But I used to be quite attentive and caring and like, whatever you want to say, I'm like, I support you. You take your time. Yeah.
Right.
So I think that's something that I am becoming more and more busy. Maybe that's something, but I thought to myself, I was like, well, that's one prominent change. Is it just like an organic, natural change because I'm getting older, getting busier, or it's something happened in my life, and that's something that I need to, like, my patience needs to be restored? Or like, do I need to train myself to be more patient? Or it's very natural for me to kind of, lose a bit focus.
Well, two things I've noticed when you're talking about that: your voice lowered and your
really?
volume lowered.
Oh, really?
So you're speaking as if you've done something wrong. You're speaking like, this is a little embarrassing. I shouldn't have done this, but I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
So I noticed that right away. And secondly, are you impatient with everybody or certain people in particular?
For example, with my partner, sometimes I'd be like trying to catch what is the essence or what is the core of what he's trying to say.
Right.
But sometimes his mind can be a bit jumpy.
Right.
So like I was just like aimlessly trying to follow like where that leads me to the root, to the core of something. And like the second I notice that I'm losing the focus, I'm not concentrating, I feel bad.
Right.
I'm like, I'm not listening. Like, I am nodding, pretending that I'm listening, but I feel bad that I'm not 100% there.
Right.
But there's this tendency.
So, Concor, note that your partner has all that going on in his head while you're talking. Like, first, what are you talking about? Oh my God, I can't believe I'm not listening. How awful am I to not be attentive and be judgmental? All of that, it's going on while you're happily talking. I mean, I think it's important just to say that out loud, right? And I asked you specifically, is it with everybody or is it with just one person or a couple of different people because of what they represent, right? Because you are busy, and I think the world is creating a lot of anxiety in people because we don't know what's going on, right? The world is, like you said, very chaotic right now. So there's a lot of uncertainty, On top of that, I can see your careers growing very, very fast. So I imagine you're both very busy, right? So that already is a trigger for anyone, right? Anyone under that kind of stress likely to be triggered. But why this person specifically? There might be an issue behind that, like something hasn't been resolved, right? Let's talk about like some random case. Like if you're worried about sales, right? The sales of the company or, money. So you're more likely to look at the salesperson in your department and be upset about it.
Mm-hmm.
If you're upset about your brand recognition, you might look at your marketing department and find that person super annoying just in that period of time. So I think it took me a while to really figure out, maybe this person, the way he or she communicates triggers me sometimes, but like right now, why is it severe? Like, why am I not being patient? So instead of criticizing yourself, really it's a puzzle, right? I think it's a mystery because you're together, you love each other. It's the same thing with my husband. Like we're together, but there are times where I just want to, right? But why? Like 30 years, why now? Like why not a year ago? Why not yesterday? What's going on in me and in our dynamics? So I would say maybe you guys can talk about it. Like what role does he play in this company? And is that where the source of anxiety is from? Or how is that related? I mean, only you can answer that question.
Actually, when we was criticizing that part, I have one issue, but it's upside down of Tyler, because we don't most of the time we work online, so we don't meet physical in the company. So from Monday to Sunday, we have a 3 times meeting. That is Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Our meeting is like at 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. In that meeting, we need to resolve all the points. We need to, and even when we have a meeting with our secretary, that she need to reply the whole emails.
Right.
And for reply the whole emails, she need to know the whole information, all the feelings, all the details that we need to say. So I told in that podcast, I have upside down your problem because now I feel like I told more than what I told before. But now I feel like, why I'm talking too more? Why I'm talking too much? Sometimes it's like I need to say A, B, but I go A, 8.1, 8.2, 8.3, 8.4. And then I reflect like maybe it's because I'm feeling I don't have time to lose, because this is the moment that we need to talk about this situation. Tomorrow is the answer for the client. Tomorrow is the email we are going to send to the client. But the person who are going to write the email is not me, it's my secretary. So she need to know all the details we have. The only time that we meet in person is the time that we are recording. But when you record, you are not going to talk about business. You record, you set up, you have a few time, but your mind is set up like the cameras, the audio, the light. So talk about business, just we move to that hour. But it's just 1 hour. And we set up 1 hour because I noticed that if we pass 2 hours, of course, your body feels so tired and it's so late.
Yeah, you don't have the attention span.
Yeah, you don't have the thing. So in 1 hour, I need another person know all the topics. Imagine we have 5 topics, but this person needs to know all my feelings to this topic. So the next day, she don't need to ask me again, and she can reply the email efficiently. That's why I feel like, now when the person asks me like, how do you think about this? Okay, I go, okay, but how about this, and I say, okay, my feeling is this, and I try to tell faster, so she can catch my idea.
So do you feel like you have to say more because Tyler is saying less?
I feel, when I reflect, I need to say more because we don't have too much opportunity to talk. Because I told him like, maybe, what do you think if we can come more regular, you and I, we can meet in the office and have a work office here in our time, like 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., maybe our ideas is going to be more faster, more concrete. And when we have the meeting with the secretary, because all the work is online, can be more easy to answer. Just can be say, yeah, this. But if we have more times in the office, but we don't have times in the office. Only the time that we meet in the office is for recording.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I think this is fascinating to discuss. I actually forgot both of your types. Were you ESTJ?
ENTJ.
You're ENTJ and you're FJ, right?
FP.
FP, ENFP,
Yeah.
ENTJ, ENFP. Okay. So
Let's go.
Interesting.
Let's go. I love it, this episode.
MBTI, baby.
I love it.
I am
really
so
love it.
ready.
I think it's interesting to look at what stress does to different types of people. So we have ENFP, whose thought process is more free, right? It's limitless, right? There's a whole lot of emotions going on. For ENTJ, we're the same type, and I feel like my coworkers can vouch for this. We get super detailed and too into work and kind of untrusting when we're triggered and stressed. And the reason for that, to me, is you have a picture of success and you know how to get there. And the less time you have, the more specific you want, because you want other people to do it exactly that way so you can all reach your final goal. Like when you're not as stressed, our type might allow others to explore. Like you can go different ways as long as we get there together. But without the time, you get nervous and you go, screw that. Everyone, go this way. So you start digging into really detailed stuff. And so for ENTJ, one of the tertiary function is sensing, which is something when you're triggered, you start becoming like very, very focused in the details. But that is not the best
of course.
you. Because for ENTJ, the best of you is when you can relax a little bit and allow different possibilities to happen and get to your goal. Like you have that agility and flexibility. But I know, because I'm an ENTJ as well, that is something I need to watch out for. And I think in any relationship, we always talk about the more. So the more you do this, the more people are going to back off. Because nobody likes other people telling them what to do or controlling their lives. And most importantly, FP types hate that.
Absolutely.
Like FP types, basically, they're driven by how I feel, right? So when you are restricting how I should feel, because I know you're probably just saying what you should do, but it makes you feel like you're telling me how I should feel. Like I do things the way I feel like, right? Maybe I feel like doing this first or that first. So it's more driven by feeling. And ENFP is more into exploring outside possibilities. So the more you go in and say, no, it has to be very limiting, you're putting a box around someone out of all types, maybe, hates boxes the most. So NFP, INFP, ENFP are probably the two types that hate boxes the most out of any personality, out of MBTI personality types. So anytime they feel like the box or the rules are closing in on them, the feeling of suffocation and the inability to express their freedom of thought will trigger some emotions. So what I see is that the more triggered you are, the more you want to struggle and say, no, I don't want to do this, right? Maybe the less you talk or the more you don't want to be structured in. Whereas before, when you feel safe and comfortable, maybe you're better with this. But the more the wall is closing in, the more they're going to fight or flight.
I noticed one thing is I like to use this word overstimulated. It's like when we have this urgency, and when sometimes I observe like, oh, my partner is overstimulated, and let's say we only have an hour, and then he usually very organically he would take the initiative to start the conversation, to go here's okay, point 1, point B, point 3, point 4,
Right.
which is awesome. It's what we need as a team.
Right.
If we talk pure business wise,
Right.
sometimes there are other ways that we could explore. And I was, for example, we have only 1 hour. I love your idea, but you kept on talking for 30 minutes already. And for me, sometimes it's a bit difficult because I don't like to cut people off. I don't like to help other people finish their sentences. But if I don't do that, I feel like I don't have the space or the time to
express yourself.
To express how I feel, or here I would also like to chime in. Here's my 2 cents.
Right.
So that actually not only just work. Sometimes I love that we're like playing ping pong a lot, and especially our editing style and just how we talk super fast, and always have this almost like a comedic vibe in it. So it's really fast, and sometimes it is necessary to have to cut people off to create that effect. But there are other times where I just feel like, thank you for helping me finish my sentence, but actually I was not going to say that. But that was also really one great way to close that conversation. So, and whenever I feel, it's really hard for me to find the timing, then gradually I become less and less talkative and not really participating in this conversation.
Right.
But I feel awful because why am I being absent in this thing that requires 50%, like, well, my 100%, but 50%, like we're 50-50. So I also want to make it work.
Right.
I just find it a bit difficult. And I sometimes question myself, like, maybe it's really hard for me. Like, maybe the problem is on me. Like, I just have a hard time finding the right timing to step in and to say, hey, you know what? Actually, I think this way. Like, it could be so easy. It could be casual. It could be very lighthearted. But why is it difficult for me to find that right timing? Well,
I mean, I think it's both. Yes, it's your responsibility, and no, it's not. Like, we co-create the relationships we're in, right? So as an ENTJ myself, I think my coworker can attest to that. Like, when we're triggered, sometimes we're overly dominating. Like, the more stressed we are, the more tough we become.
Yes.
And it becomes this huge brick wall, and it's scary for people to chime in. Like, when I'm not stressed, I consciously tell them, please do challenge me, because I know when I get to that point, you might be too scared. Until this day, they are still scared, right? But I think now we have that psychological safety to say, you're at that place again. Like, you're becoming very hard to talk to. So we need you to either take a rest or tone down a little bit, because it's not helping us working together. So that's something that I consciously have to learn.
You're saying your employees, they feel comfortable enough to tell you that?
Because when I am not crazy, I tell them, you need to tell me that, because I know that's my blind spot. When I'm upset, I become a little bit argumentative, defensive, and overly dominating. And that's been my blind spot. So I need to tell people before I go cray-cray that this might happen. And when it does, please don't be scared to challenge me, because I need to be challenged. I need to be reminded that I need to take a break. Because the great thing about our type, I know where I'm dissing our type a lot, but the great thing about our type is that we can put our feelings aside and get shit done.
Yeah.
And that being said, we're very good at execution, because we don't get our feelings involved. Like, even if we're hurt or whatnot, we could toughen up and just like move straight ahead. But the downside is we're a little disconnected with how we feel. So when we lose our own feelings about how we feel, we stop noticing that our partners aren't feeling great either.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're not even noticing we're not feeling great. How are we noticing that other people are feeling shitty too? And then you create this dynamic because the more you are not receiving from Tyler, the more you want to talk, right? Because you feel like, okay, my partner isn't putting enough weight, so I got to do more. So then you become more dominant, and the more you become like this, the more Tyler wants to run away.
Bro, I feel like after analyzing this problem for a third time, well, I feel stress for that only 1 hour timing that we have for all the problems to resolve. Because I feel like if we have 5 problems, that 5 need to resolve. But I really want to propose you, what do you think if we can have maybe more hours meeting during the week? Maybe with the secretary we can have Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but with you, because I don't want to you can have the all work or have the all meeting like a full consent. Maybe we can have all the 5 days, 1 hour just you and I, like at the days that we don't have with the secretary, and we can maybe digest more of the topics. So in that hour meeting will be more lighting.
Right. I mean, that requires more time from the both of you, which of course, if you have more time together, that's great. But I would also like to propose maybe sometimes take a back seat and see if we're not that intense, can we still get stuff done?
Oof, okay, yeah, let's do it.
Because I know for our type, it's almost a belief. The harder, the more effort I put into it, the better it will get. And then we tire ourselves out and we tire our partners out, people around us. Perhaps just one time, maybe have Tyler lead the meeting.
Okay.
And unless you are asked, let him lead and see what happens. I'm curious. This is an experiment.
Yeah. He's the best.
I'm curious too.
Because if that does happen, well, first of all, it fixes Tyler's challenge right now because you don't want to be absent-minded. You want yourself to be in the game, and you give yourself a lot of crap for not being attentive. So that'll solve that, because if you're leading the meeting, then you have to be attentive.
Yeah, I have to be attentive.
But I think it's interesting for us to take a back seat and see what's the tempo that other people might be more comfortable in. And is it possible that when everyone's feeling really safe and comfortable, perhaps it doesn't require that much effort and things get done?
Let's do it.
So I would say like TJ has more of a masculine, like testosterone energy, like bulldozer energy, like would do it, like without feelings, without thoughts, like tough it out and get it done. And I feel like FP is more right side of the brain. It's more creative and limitless. That's why you guys work so well together, because that yin and yang energy. But when it's off balance, it's off balance. So perhaps you don't have to work that hard to get everything done.
Hey, bro.
We're going to see if that works.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sherry. Every time we see you.
It's best. I love and we have another episode that we are going to shoot in our channel.
Right.
And it's like a few weeks after this episode.
Yeah.
In that, we are going to see how it's working.
Okay.
Bro, since now,
gonna give it
I'm
a
going
try.
to work. Let's work. Another hint. Bro, we are going to work so hard because I think
We're going to work
that is
less
yeah.
hard, remember?
We're going to work. So not work hard. We're going to work better.
better.
work better.
Bro, that
Yes.
is the word. We are going to work better because we need to improve, and that is amazing. That's what I was thinking, and I was mentioned to Tyler today. It's like I love to watch and be in like this kind of therapies, because the main point of the psychology, or the main point of these seasons, these moments, is one person can give you tools to improve your life, to improve your career, to improve your moments, to improve your situation, to improve your relationship, romantic relationship, to improve your co-worker relationship when you know each other and when you told freedom, when you open your heart and you told that. So I'm so happy, and let's try that for this period of time, and let's see. And if the next time we are going to see the result and we are going to improve, be better.
Yeah, I mean, try it. And I'm always so impressed and inspired by you two, because no, I really am. I'm not just saying this because you're my guest. but I think it's good that, I mean, I think everyone, a lot of people want to try to grow, right? But you two both want to grow individually, and you are both very committed in this relationship. And sometimes we don't see that, right? A lot of times we see people say, well, something's wrong with the relationship, but it's not my fault, it's yours. But I feel like the both of you are looking at the relationship and say, what can I do better? And I think that's a very rare thing, not just business partners, any relationship, right? Couples. Can you, when you're upset, you feel challenged, or you're like super annoyed by your partner, can you take a step back and go, what is happening? Is it really his fault? Or could I be contributing as well? And then how can we work together to solve this, as opposed to, look, you need to change, right? So I'm excited, like in a few weeks, I want to see what happens when you take a step back and let Tyler lead
The meetings.
And how does that style change? And how does that affect you guys? Maybe you realize you don't like it. Maybe you realize, hey, this is much better. It's a slower pace. We get more stuff done with less time. Why? I feel like when you have that energy balance, you can maybe do more. And that's something, Concor, I feel like it's a constant listen for me. Because every time I get too busy, I become like that. And I am in shittier mood than I realize, because then I feel like my family and my coworkers are kind of just slowly backing away. I'm noticing that now, but I didn't before, because I'm so into the deadlines, what to get done. Like, I'm so consumed by the work itself. I don't even notice that. Now I do. And then now I'm thinking, well, in the long run, what is my goal? Like, to have all these 5 projects, or have a sustainable life and relationship, right? If I want to have a sustainable life and relationship, do I need to have all these 5 projects discussing an hour at the cost that my partner might be upset? Or perhaps I have a different option. I think a lot of times we don't even think we have a different option.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Sometimes it's like, it's like when we have, because some clients are like, okay, I need you to reply me like at this day, because they have a timing for advertisement. So it's like, okay, when sometimes the list is growing so big, because a lot of companies send emails like, yeah, we will have this project, we want to ban you. Sometimes it's like, okay, yes, no. Sometimes yes, only the first step, like they want to how much is this cost, this story? And it's like, I feel like, oh, wow. If I give you all the information for the secretary, for the people there, it's like when they reply, the person is already prepared about how is going to be my next answer. They don't need to ask me again. Because I feel like if I say just one answer for one question, then the next question, they are going to come in again with the next question and not going to improve. So if I say, okay, I want to work with this brand in this way, I think this is the best way, can be the correct way, can be like the perfect way. So I let you know all the details about how can be the work. And then when they reply you 1 question, 2 question, 3 question, you just answer. Don't need to ask it. So next, move on to the next one. Let's keep working.
So I think that's the strength of our type.
Yeah.
I'm sure Tyler's noticed that too. Like, we can get stuff done. Like we get stuff done fast. And the great quality that we have is we run like a simulation in our head.
Yeah.
Right? It's like multi-universe. Like if they say A, we'll reply B. If they say C, we'll reply D. So I want to list out all of the things that I see in my universes so that
I used the exact same expression.
You did?
He likes to bring the whole universe to the table.
Right. So that you have all the data, like you are in his matrix. So even if he's not there, the secretary could be the avatar. Like I know I have it in my handbook. If you say A, I can reply B.
Yeah.
Right? And everything. But I think one great thing we can learn from ENFP sometimes is what if I sat back and really think about what we've explored and our accomplishments? What if I sit back and look at where we were last year and where we are now? And let's immerse in that we've accomplished so much. And so maybe our value is not the same as a year ago. A year ago, perhaps they can ask us to meet their deadline. But perhaps now we can say, maybe meet us halfway. Maybe take a moment to let that sink in. Because a lot of times, I think for ENTJs, there's no space for that to sink in. It's just to-do lists. I love to joke, like, my life is just to-do lists. Like, okay, done. But, like, really, I think if you open up your heart and mind, what Tyler can bring to the table is maybe the most important thing is not work, right? Maybe the most important thing is we first acknowledge our accomplishments and maybe see how we feel. And then we decide if we want these projects, right? Because sometimes you got to let your core value and your feelings lead you as well, not just a to-do list. So I'm excited.
I'm so excited too.
To try this.
Yeah. One thing I'm very proud of myself, I'm not taking any credit, but
You should.
actually Concor started a new show, and I kept telling him, I was like, gently, trying to guide him into like, I think you're so different. Your eyes sparkle when you speak in Spanish, especially because that's your first language. So I kept telling him, I was like, you got to start doing a show in Spanish. And what's the matter? We could just put, like subtitles. Everybody will be able to understand. So you just go ahead and do it. And he was like, oh man, I don't know, working with my spouse. I don't know, getting everything involved. It's kind of, sometimes things can get messy and stuff. I'm like, I know. There's, of course, a chance that things might get messy, but why don't we just try it out? Maybe we could try only one season, only 5 episodes, or you can even use Spanish, but you can invite other people. You could be like a one-man show. You could, sometimes do monologue types, sometimes do interview, group types. And I think it took him like at least 3 months to think about it. And I'm so happy and proud of him that he took a leap of faith. And he was like, you know what? Yeah, fuck it. I'm going to do it. And honestly, that show is getting more and more popular. It's more popular than BrosBond, honestly, right now.
So while you were in the restroom, that's what I said to him. I go, because my daughter is learning Spanish and she doesn't have anything to watch other than her textbook stuff. So I had asked her to watch their show to practice Spanish. And she was like, oh, this is something I can watch. Like, this is not boring. This is fun. And also because she knows you, right?
Yeah.
And you should take that credit, because I will say I started my show because of an INFP. Saying to me,
we need to put that frame we are going to print and put in the office.
Saying to me, honestly, you should just try it, right? I think we think too much. What about the costs? Like all sorts of consequences. But if you have all that simulation running in your head, it's hard to take that leap of faith.
Yes.
So I think we are stronger in terms of execution, but sometimes you need a dream to execute. And I think Tyler's personality type, him as a person or the NFPs, they bring that. Like without a huge dream, you're just executing smaller stuff, right? But dreams are not very concrete all the time. It needs space. It needs some sort of relaxed and safe environment. Like when it's a military style, it's harder to come out. Am I right? Am I close to the ballpark?
Yeah, you're speaking my language.
I am also trying to learn that language, right? It's a reminder for myself. Like people don't work the way I work, right? Just sometimes we forget because our eyes are so locked in on the goals that sometimes we forget.
Well, let's try.
Let's try.
And so maybe more dreams will come. And all these dreams come out and you'll look back at that 5 projects that you're trying to discuss in that 1 hour. Maybe they're not that important after all.
Yeah.
Right?
Some of they never replied that email. Please reply, unless reply me like a yes. I watch your email. I watch your email. Not just like a don't reply anymore.
Right. So I'm just saying, you know, like that idea actually took off was probably better than the 5 things you had on the table to discuss.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I've got a lot of creative ideas that went well, but some others they probably could. There's always a chance.
But let's try it, bro. Let's try it. We're here in try. Now we are in one position that we are trying new things.
Yeah.
We have all the equipments, all the resource to try new things, and that's one of the series and the last podcast.
Yeah.
The series, new podcast, and new things coming. Yeah.
So, I mean, the thing about creativity when I teach MBTI is like people always say, we want to be more creative. I go, but we're not training our kids to be creative because in order for you to allow creativity, you have to have space to allow for failures. Like no one's creative 100% at the time, right? Like out of 100 creations, if 2 takes off, then yay, right? But that means you have to create the space for 98 failures.
Right.
And if our education system or our companies don't allow that, well, you're not going to have creativity. It's not just a slogan, right? And so I think it's great you guys are allowing that space for creativity, meaning possible failures, but that's okay. Right? Not everything will work, and you learn from it.
I think now I need to tell you now just one secret that Sherry mentioned. I'm so scary to fail. I'm really scary because as a foreigner in Taiwan, I feel like in some way I have something to prove to my people in Peru, like for my family. Because never I told you, and never I mentioned this in any podcast, in any shows. Just my wife know, but. When I come to Taiwan, I didn't finish my university. So one of we have this kind of things in Peru that in the Catholic Church, we have a one, like, I don't know, can be your uncle, and he become your father in the Catholic Church. How I don't
Godfather,
know.
right?
Godfather, okay. One day, my godfather was the party of my godfather, and my godfather come to the kitchen, and I was in the kitchen with my cousin, and my cousin was talking about that. Hey, I'm going to Taipei, I'm going to Taiwan, I'm going to start one university. And my godfather looked at me. He was a little drunk, and he told me, "Why'd you go? You are nothing. You didn't finish your university. If you go and you return and you didn't finish, you are shameless. I'm a doctor. Your father is engineer. Your mother is a professor of science. What you are? You didn't finish your university here." And since that day, when I come to Taiwan, I'm really scared to fail. And that's why I'm work so hard to every competition, every single competition to apply, to try to get the first place, for show that I am the best. And then another person told me, why you study communication of art? In one promotion of communication of art, just only one is the success one. And then when the last time I returned to Peru, I didn't tell him, just I watched his house. And I said, yes, I am that one. Of my promotion, I am the person who has a company, who has a really big show, who has a really good partner, who is working good, and I pay my own salary. From my salary, I pay my ticket to come to Peru. So one of the things that you say, Sherry, and I think that's the best moment I can tell you, is I'm really scared to fail. I'm so scary. So when we want to try something, I create a lot of universe in my brain. I create a lot of possibility options that we can have, and I try to answer every single question about what happened if we fail. So I try to find the best way that resolve. Like, okay, let's do this, let's do that, let's do that, let's do that. I will not let any dream fail because I'm not a failure. Because when I return to Peru, I want to let everybody know that yes, I'm success. But with the pass of the time, now in our company, we try different projects. And I understand in that process that be a failure is just give up. But we try. So that means we learn something from every show that we try to do, every show that we try to run, every project that we try to make. Sometimes they didn't show up. Sometimes the people know anything about what we did. But that wasn't a fail, because when I start the company with you, I start to feeling like this is one step to growing. And I feel like I'm growing. I'm not a failure.
Oh.
Wow, that was very emotional and raw. And I'm proud of you for, being so open.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, vulnerable.
Wow, I am so touched, and I feel like a real therapist, even though I'm not. I am not a therapist. But thank you for sharing, because I think it'll help your relationship a lot. Because what drives you is that deep-rooted fear. So now Tyler knows it's not just about work. Mm-hmm. This is tied to your pride, your identity, how your family sees you. So it's not just work. So the amount of pressure Concor has perhaps is more than we had originally imagined, because it's tied to his very core. But I think it's great that you shared it, because what we suppress in the dark, in the back of our minds, will always end up driving us. So I wish you the best, and I know that what let you before was driven by fear. But I hope in the future it's driven by your dream.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm so happy to take out that. I'm so happy we are here, and I'm so happy that we are going to try new things. And I'm so happy that since now it's like it's like one thing in my back that I don't have anymore. And bro, let's try new things. Let's try new things, and let's see what happens. Just with the time.
I have something that I want to
Let's
tell.
do it.
Yeah.
Do you have a paper you want to cry?
Usually, I usually need some time to kind of like, to construct some sentences in the back of my mind, so then I can be as specific as possible when I try to articulate. But right now, I'm very touched by what you just said, and I'm saying this. It's not as an attempt to lift any of your burden, but I just want to let you know that not only BrosBond, you just be you, continue to be you. Yeah, you could still have that roots of fear, but I just want to know that, bro, I can be your safety net. Just try. And I can't make any promises, but I can promise you this, that no matter how many times you fall, you fail, I am going to be there and catch you. Yeah, I'm going to try my best.
Thank you, bro. Thank you so much.
No, I think that's amazing. What happened?
He's sweating from his eyes.
Well, I am so happy you guys had this talk.
I'm happy too.
Like I said, I am inspired by the both of you, because your ability to share that with one another and to respect and understand one another. And Concor, this is me speaking to my younger self. Until this day, that fear of failure is still there. it sometimes would still take over that driver's seat. And it did just very recently.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to make a conscious effort to say, no. It's very scary right now. And maybe we have failed something, but that doesn't make us failures. And I don't need you in my driver's seat. So please go away. But that fear will always come back. The fear of failure. But we can't control everything.
Yeah, that's I think well, that moment really like was one always I have that, and always I remember that. Even now I return to Peru, is my godfather, so I really need to watch him. But it was like I never say anything, because it's like I think being mature is sometimes I know I win. I know I finished my education. I'm kind of success that what they expect. So it's like but that's only need to be for me. I don't need to be like say to everybody like, hey, I have a company. Hey, I finished my studies. Hey, I was the first place in my university. Doesn't that need to be for me? Because that's maybe, like I say, maybe my godfather in that day, he didn't mean that. Maybe he was just drunk, or he was just for the emotion, or just he followed something. He didn't mean that. Always we have this kind of moment, these 5 minutes that we say something that we didn't mean, that just we say it. But that hit me, and this time I feel like after that I get one feeling about like this chapter of my life is end. Like a feeling like I'm going to be a loser is fail. It's finished that chapter. Why? Because the reason was I'm returned to Peru that time with my money. And return to Peru is not easy. It's like really expensive. It's really expensive. So I return with my money. And every time that I'm looking out for, it's like I have a salary, but that salary from my company. So it's like I have my own company. I have my salary. I have my income. And I'm a foreigner who don't speak Chinese, who come to another country, and then I can support my family. I can put the bread in the table in my family. I get married with an amazing woman. I have next to me, and today in the morning, these days, I was remember to my wife every morning to say like, you was the best option. You are the best option. For me, I can't deserve anything better. I think that life loved me so much because I have the best wife. I have an amazing house. I have my own company. I have my own partner, and my partner is amazing. I can't deserve anything more. It's like everything in my life is so beautiful. So I have that feelings long time ago, but now I feel like I'm not a failure in any way. And even if I have one show and that show is broke up, or the show is canceled the next week, it's like I learned something from that show, and I keep improving, and I keep improving because I see every opportunity for I learn something. Because I think what I'm going to bring when I'm going to be older is no money. It's just the thing that I learned from this life.
Right.
Yeah. So that's every opportunity is something for learn.
No, you just demonstrated to our audience, like when you're ever in doubt and fear of failure, count your blessings is the best thing. And you just literally counted your blessings, right?
Yeah.
So, no, that's great. I mean, really, best of luck to you two. And you're amazing partners. And what you've done in this short period of time, it's a testament to how well you two work together and how well you will be received in the future as well. So I want to congratulate on your success. And honestly, I am so looking forward to what the two of you, like two insane people, can create in the future. I'm really excited for it.
Thank you. So this is the month of our birthday.
Both of your birthdays?
BrosBond birthday.
The
BrosBond birthday.
Yeah.
Second year.
See, honestly, only second year, and
Yeah.
you guys have done so much.
Thank you so much.
So kudos to you.
Yeah.
Thank
Happy birthday
you.
to BrosBond.
Happy birthday.
Well, thank you two so much for coming on my show.
I never thought that is going to
know.
share
We have
that.
to end now.
Thank you.
Do we have to
No.
No, do you want to go on?
Okay.
What
oh my
time
God.
do we
'cause you were saying
have?
30
We have
minutes.
30 minutes.
30
left.
minutes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's talk about your books. Because I'm here because I'm really excited. We have a lot of questions.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So everyone, I wrote a book called MBTI and 我和我的爱情说明书. So basically is how to utilize MBTI tool in love relationships. But Concor told me he had mixed feelings about it.
Yeah.
So first I'm like, how did you even read it? Because it's in freaking Chinese. And two, I'm so excited to hear what are your mixed feelings.
Actually, I'm going to ask you because thanks to you, thank you your team, thank you to this. I have the privilege to have this book really early and in PDF. So now with the whole technology, I asked to ChatGPT to help me to translate chapter by chapter and translate in the all details. Like I don't have a really wrong translation. And I have the opportunity to be the first Taiwanese book that I read in my whole life.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it's
Yay.
like I'm so happy, and I have a lot of mixed feelings because in that chapter, in two chapters, you describe all the MBTIs and how they react to the love, and I have so mixed feelings because it's like a yes, but I have a song. For example, what the conclusion is, introverts, they need to learn how love, but how to express, and how the people maybe sometimes they need to listen. You have a extroverts, they need to understand that the people love in different ways. The people love in different ways. Not every time is going to be show you like a one letter to say I love you. Or they are going to dance with you the whole night, and they're going to kiss you, a passionate kiss.
It's a very Latin type of love.
Yeah.
Right? Very expressive. Yeah.
And especially my wife is my wife is Taiwanese, and my
Right.
wife is extrovert. My wife is type ESFJ.
Okay.
And then after when I was reading the book, and I was checking like my type. Well, you finish in an amazing way the book. Like this is for self-learning. If you don't have the opportunity to go to one psychology therapy, I think this book is the best opportunity to check yourself, to make it the first step. And that first step is learn exactly if you're in a toxic relationship, if how you can improve. If you are in this moment that you feel your relationship is not is that way, it's not that you can start to thinking about why. Maybe it's because the person is so extrovert and the person needs see love. And maybe you are introvert and just you need somebody remember what is your coffee. Well, how you like the coffee, or somebody remember you like how you like your clothes to be. Something like this detail for the introvert. And I told my wife, so what is yours? And then I double check like how is that type that she loves the love, and it's like she is more balanced. She like a little more balanced. She like everything can be like a co-worker, something like that. And I was like, I don't know, but I read that in the correct moment because now my wife is working with me. Now my wife is, when we have these new shows in Duovision, is Concor Hour, we are working together.
Right.
And I was so scary because the last time you went to our show, I prepared one question for you. It's like, how is work with your partner?
Yes.
And you tell, no, the worst of the worst. Totally the worst of the worst.
I mean, that's for me.
Yeah. So a lot of people, they say, no, it's not good because you can mix these conflicts. You can mix like a office with relationship, or sometimes you bring your problems in your home. Our studio is in my home, so for sure it's going to be the work is in the home.
Right.
So when I started working with my wife, is something that I was so scary. And then we decided the topic or the sense of our Concor Hour. This sense is me and my wife are remember the whole moments that we lived together. So when we started working together, she and I, we start to pushing this project together, working together, and more with the topic that we remember all how we meet, how we love, how the amazing moments in Peru we have. I don't know, but I just start to notice that was the way that she was doing like a compatibility, because find a one balance between working, love, story, all the times. It's like we have that balance now, and we are sharing and remember why we love each other, and I feel so amazing. So after reading the book, actually we was making the double check. We was yes, and then we finished to check her type, my type. We finished to check, and then we kiss each other to say, "Baby, I love you, and I love work with you."
Oh, that is so sweet.
Yeah,
That's the sweetest thing.
yeah,
No, I think ESFJs, a lot of going back to history definitely helps because their secondary function is introverted sensing, which is what I've experienced in the past. So bring that back is always good for ESFJ. Bring the good memories back is always great.
But then I come in. That's my another hard feeling. Like I come in with like a yes, I love my wife. But then I was coming. I feel like what happened if I learn from every single type MBTI? It's like okay, I know my blind spot. Now one day I asked to Tyler like, bro, but after read the book, I was like so confused. So can I lose my MBTI? Because what happened if I learn the darkest side of each MBTI, and then I capture the good side of every part of the MBTI, and then I understand how the another person maybe love with using this book. Can I lose my MBTI, or I'm a supreme MBTI?
Oh, I hope you guys forget about your MBTI once you've internalized it. It's like when you have little kids, you give them potty training toilets, right? Sometimes in a relationship, I don't know you guys so well, and so I'm trying to figure out what's going on. So knowing your MBTI, it's like a tool for me to get to know you faster. And based on your MBTI, maybe I could start to guess or speculate what happened. So I can maybe give you a little bit of advice. But without it, maybe I'll have to listen to your stories more and more and more, which is probably better, right? To be honest, like MBTI is a label, but it's a good way to start.
Yes.
Right? So once you know it, like I don't look at my kids' MBTI because I already know them. So I don't need to know their MBTI to know who they really are. But if I didn't know you and you didn't know why I'm feeling this way, why am I having problems with my partner, knowing your MBTI helps. So I do hope once you get to that level, you're more intentional, more aware of your strengths and weaknesses, then forget about MBTI. Literally let it go. Okay, I feel like you want to say something, and you said you have a hard time interrupting, so I'm going to let Tyler have the floor.
Well, thank you.
He gets the mic now.
Yeah, I get the mic. Okay,
Yeah.
finally. Actually, I came today after I read the book. I came with two problems that I'm currently facing. One is with my Korean girlfriend because I'm ENFP and she is INFP. So when she's on her turf, like her comfortable space, she can be very extroverted when she's, like feel very comfortable at ease. And whatever the conflict is whenever we have a conflict, right? We have disagreement. It's so easy for us to try our best to put ourselves in other people's shoes, each other's shoes. So it's so easy. Like we have this conflict. It's so easy for us to just give in and like, okay, I'll take a step back. You can come forward. And she would do the same. And it would be like, there's this distance. And we'll be like, why are you doing this? I already give in. So you just come meet me here. And she'd be like, no. I already took a step back. So you can come. Like I created this space for you. So you can come. So that still we have not only the conflict and also the distance. And that frustrates both of us.
Yeah.
And for example, it also has something to do with like family culture shock. I don't even know how to call this in English. We have this thing, not Asian, sorry, because my girlfriend is also Asian, but she doesn't have that in Korean society, which is the thing that we call allowance that we give to our parents in some families. Yeah, I think we have this culture like we regularly give. For some people, it's 1/3 of their salary, 1/5. For other, it's like a fixed amount of money you give monthly. And at first, she was very shocked by that. She was like, "Wait, so if you are thinking about building our future, then we become one unit. And even by then, are you still going to do that? And in the back of my mind, I think like, I am already doing this. This is my relationship with my family, and I am not getting your money to pay.
Right,
It's like
right.
I'm giving that to show my appreciation and gratitude.
Right.
Yeah, it's like, but that's my culture. And then I realized that, oh, it's not an Asian culture. It's more like a Taiwanese or a Chinese culture. And to her, she was also very shocked. Like, wait, but we're going to become one, if possible, in the future. And by then, it should be a decision that we make together. It should be like a shared agreement or something. So that brings up the internal conflict of, hold up. Yeah. To me, it felt so natural that I want to give. But it is a social construct that we build in this specific society. And I find it even start to be a bit challenging for me to define the meaning of me giving the allowance to my parents. So yeah, I can't seem to figure that out. And yeah, so
Okay. Okay.
yeah.
I do think for NFPs, and it's so interesting that you both are, because NFPs are great at giving people spaces. And again, they want that space too. So because they know they want and need that space. So when they're in love, they will do that for their partner. They want to give their partner spaces. But I also think for every NFP, it comes to a point where you realize that there needs to be some structure or line in the relationship. There's always been a line. It's just maybe when you're younger, it's invisible to you guys. But as you grow older and when people start to challenge you, like, well, why are you doing this? You start to think, how important is this for me? And it is okay to have lines, right? Because the culture difference, even without the culture difference, you still have different beliefs or whatnot. So it is okay, because I think for NFPs, the worst thing they can do to anyone is to draw a very clear line and not let them be themselves. But it's not really not letting them be themselves. It's protecting you so you can be yourself. And there are lines that you can give into, and there are lines and spaces that you cannot. Knowing that and discussing that in the open would help you. And I think, generally speaking, FJs don't like conflicts or outright fighting. But I will say, sometimes a passionate fight will bring out a lot of things that are hidden that maybe you don't even know about. Just like what Concor said, right? Once my deepest fear comes to the surface, then we can talk about it. But if I don't let you know and you don't let me know, that little thing is always going to be in the driver's seat. And we're going to be in this intimate relationship, but not knowing what's going on. Like, why are you acting this way? What is the real reason that's driving you to do this? And I think it's a learning experience. So now you're being challenged on your view. So you think about it. How important is this to you? And if it is, it's okay to say, this is where I draw the line. I do want a future with you, and we can do all of that together, but this is me. This is very much part of me. I can't give in this part. I think it's important for you to understand how important it is to you and articulate that.
Wow. Thank you. That was very, very, very helpful. And I feel like it is true that I hate conflicts. So a lot of times I'll be like, okay, I'll let this one slide. Okay, I'll give it a free pass. But it's like, it's internally, I never say anything. I never voice that I feel a bit uncomfortable at this specific moment and because of what you said or something like that. Instead, everything's just like slowly but surely piles up until one day it's just too much. And then I would have a breakdown or a meltdown. And I know that's kind of unhealthy, but it's kind of really difficult because every single day, like in your everyday life, there's always mini conflicts. If I just let it slide, everybody's happy. And what's most important is I just want everybody to be happy. And I don't want to be the vibe killer. Or like, hey, we're just happy. We're just talking about this. If you just, like follow along, then we all be happy. Why are you being so difficult or something? And it's just, like a fear of mine.
Yeah. But also because you want everyone to be able to enjoy themselves and be themselves, be their whole self.
Yeah.
But look what just happened. You mentioned something that bothered you about Concor, and that ended up in such a positive way. So that's not bring up conflict. That's not bring up a fight. Let's bring up something that's authentically you. Like that's how you feel. You feel negative about a person. One aspect about the person does not mean you don't love that person still, right? If you don't love that person, you wouldn't even have brought it up. Might as well just say, call it quits now. I don't need to see you, right? Why bother? I think it's important for the both of you to understand, bring that up only means you want to work on this relationship, right? And look what just happened, right? Bring it up may lead to really great things. And I always think whatever is in that driver's seat in the dark place, you might be aware of it. Maybe it's a fear or shame, whatever it is. If you can bring it out with your partner and discuss it, it just would dissolve. I like the saying in Mandarin, 就是见光死. Like whatever hides in the darkest shadow, if you bring it out, it'll evaporate. But if you don't bring it out, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and you find yourself listening to your partner and just like rolling your eyes.
Maybe that has something to do with me being less and less patient, because I have some many things keep piling up in my driver's seat, in the back of the seat, something like that. And then if I had said something, probably that would have been different. Yeah.
I do think maybe you're letting too many things slide. And all of these things are your triggers.
Yeah.
And you're just trying to tell yourself they're not.
Yeah.
So then every time something comes up, it kind of touches on it and you become impatient. You want this thing to be over. You don't want to deal with it because I think unconsciously you're aware that it's closer to your trigger point. And if you become impatient and you don't listen to it, then it won't explode. So maybe you're letting too many things slide.
Okay.
Like you're not by default confrontational.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying confrontation or just bring things up, not even confrontation, might not be the worst thing in a relationship.
Capiche?
You had another question.
Oh, yeah. Another question.
You're so easy to read, bro.
Right. Well, the other one is about the allowance, to parents. It's like, I feel this is becoming a very hot seat. I feel vulnerable because I don't even know if this is appropriate to say something like this in front of camera. So I was taught to appreciate, and of course I do. But there are times where you're just financially not that stable, or it's difficult for you to live up to the expectations of your parents or your family. And that doesn't mean that I don't love them. And that sometimes, like, how much you love, how much you provide, I know it's not equivalent to money, but it kind of feels...
It feels equivalent.
Yeah.
Even if it's not.
Yeah.
Is that something that you believe in, or is that your family value, you think?
I think it's my family's value. And so there I already have this internal conflict but still I am giving the money regularly. But then I have this another conflict with my romantic partner where she doesn't understand that concept at all. And so I am trying to rationalize that and explain my viewpoint where I am so internally conflicted. So I think
she is just an indicator that you're internally conflicted.
Yeah.
Because if you weren't, whatever she says, you would have been like, no, this is the way it is.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that you are conflicted
Yeah.
and that shows that maybe part of you thinks she's right. Yeah. It is something that you need to really take time to think about, and it's a very deep issue because what if you're talking about what if I love someone and for that person the love currency is money
Mm-hmm.
or gifts. But for me, the currency of love is act of service, right? Or quality time.
Yeah.
But I love you, but this is not how I see love. So how comfortable am I to not express my love for you the way I want, but the way you like? And is that okay for me? And I do think it's something you can bring up with your family as well.
Mm-hmm.
Is this really, really true? Or sometimes you bring it up, just like your partner, they may say, that's not really what we mean.
Mm.
I don't know how they feel about it, but I feel like having a transparent conversation might be good. At least know. You may not agree with them, but at least know if they really feel the way you think they feel or you're projecting.
Mm. Wow. Feels like the conversation with the family is very much needed. Yeah.
Yeah, I think tough conversations are
Yeah.
always needed.
Uh-huh.
I'm always saying everyone should have the tough conversation. And just yesterday I had one and I realized I waited a long time for it too. Because it's like you think everything's okay until it's not. Then it's time. I don't think we need to go out and look for tough conversations to have. But sometimes when it's time, it's time. You just got to take that opportunity. It instead of seeing it as a conflict, see it as an opportunity for growth. Better relationship.
Wow. That was so beautifully said. Like, especially when you talked about love currency. Yeah. An act of service or emotional value. Or,
Yeah, quality time. I
Yeah,
mean,
it's-
or accolades, right? Everyone receives love differently.
Yeah.
But if you don't have the same currency and you know what your partner wants, are you okay just giving that all the time? Or you also want quality time, right? So relationships are hard, period.
Period.
Just for finish,
Yeah.
I never asked this question
Uh-huh.
to my wife until I finished to read your book. I asked her after read what is her MBTI and what is my MBTI. I never asked her this, like, what's mean love for you? I
Love
never asked-
language, right?
Yeah, what's mean, like, I told her, like, what's mean love for you? Because my idea was the same like you in certain part, like, okay, have a salary, baby, I bring to you to the shopping mall, buy whatever you want. But then she surprised me because after read the book, in what part to say no, like, you describe all the MBTIs about what they like and what is that. And when I asked her, what's mean love for you? And she told me, quality time. And I was like, bro, I'm going to save a lot of money.
So this is why I want to write this book, because imagine you're working your asses off. You're not home because you think I need to make more and more and more money so I can buy all of these things for my wife to show my love. All a while she's like, stop working and come home. That's actually what I want. Right?
Exactly.
And so often we don't ask and we don't know. We just assume this is the best way.
Yeah, like me, I never ask her. Never in any relationship, I ask her like just a question, the basic question: what's mean love for you? And in that moment, I understand like, wow. So what you were suspecting was so different that what we are 6 years together. And now I realized this like, okay, I'm so happy that after read this book, I learned something, I put in practice something, and my relationship is improving in some way.
That's awesome.
Wow.
That's awesome. But I'm so glad to hear that from you. And I do hope that Tyler can start having that mini challenging conversations on a daily basis now, as opposed to wait until you notice you've become impatient.
Yeah.
Because like I had said before, like when you're safe and happy, that's not killing the vibe. That's like me telling my team, I might become like really psychotic when I'm stressed. So we are happy now. So I'm just giving you a little warning. This might come, just like the weather. We have typhoons sometimes, but it'll go away. So have that little, have that vaccine first, and then start to have that conversation. That might work a little better.
Really useful advice.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know we're out of time, but I'm excited to talk to you guys again in a few weeks, right?
Yes!
Yeah.
Everybody, if you like this conversation, don't forget to go to BrosBond, do a vision, and watch the second part of this conversation.
You know what I'm excited? You get into our head and you feel us, and then you help us articulate, help us express exactly what we've always wanted to say. And I'm just so excited to talk to you and get to interview you and get to know you as a person. Like you be the interviewee, you be the guest. And then we are able to explore more of you.
Thank you so much. That's one of the sweetest things anyone said, but thank you. Thank you. And thank you for allowing me to be part of this partnership and witness this counseling and conversation. I mean, I think I really do learn a lot from you guys. I'm not just saying that. But yeah, excited to see you guys again in 3 weeks.
Same here. Sharing,
Same,
you are our person.
Yeah. Let's all move forward together. Right?
Yeah.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right.
Thank
See
you,
you guys
Salam.
next time. Bye.
See you. Bye-bye. Follow BrosBond in all
Bye-bye.
Instagram.
Exactly.
And do a vision on YouTube.
All the information down below.